Whether he acted alone or there was many people. People are so, well, we can't. And what did they do? They divided yous. They divided yous just like they divided this country. A case, a murder case that is divided can't stand, right? They can't stand it. Can't. It's like a house divided. It never works. You're constantly bickering. And that's what we're also seeing in the Delphi case. Now, did I believe it was Richard Allen? No, I didn't believe it was Richard Allen because I can't get a clear footage of Bridge Guy. So you have to rely on other things to solve the case. Now they're saying it was Richard. We got proof, right? All right. But on this channel, I can't say 100% Bridge Guy was Richard Allen. I can't say that. Not with the footage they gave us. I know a lot of people are pissed. I am too. It should have never happened. And it's happening right now, folks. As we speak right now, the Delphi is happening somewhere in the world. I don't know what to tell you, folks. I don't know what to tell the world, right? I don't know. But these other guys that are already behind prison for other things, uh, by the grace of God, got lucky, and they got them, and there was a connection. That town was the connection. The crew was the connection. They just can't. They can't fathom it. It was many people that played their part in whatever you folks want to come to your own conclusion. You have your own minds. Whether he's guilty, whether he's innocent, whether we all know that there was many involved or just one man, right? I'd come to terms with when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm I've been wrong on a lot of stuff. If I get anything right, it's only because the glory of God or the grace of God or God Himself working through me because I'm dumber than a doornail. So, can I say 100% that's Richard Allen? No, but now that we're seeing a photo of him curly hair, well, that might fit the description that was out. And Richard probably shaved his head exactly about the same time that description came out. And people just can't put two and two together. And it's why we have so many murderers and crazy men on the earth is because they divided us, even not only in our country, in crime cases. People were looking for one man. On this channel, we looked for many. Some not even here in America. Many. Because anything was possible. They could have committed this crime and been gone. And I just don't understand why they all came down on me. I'm an idiot. I don't know. Shut up. Don't listen to his videos. I must have struck a nerve with somebody. Right? And if I was dumb, maybe Mr. President Trump got it right. If a half-baked idiot can figure this shit out, we're screwed. I'm sorry to break up your parties. I really am. But that's my opinion. I still believe to this day there was many. I do believe some of these guys ratted on people and knew. I believe the police knew. They got wind and they were watching. They were watching to see if they were waiting for data. They were waiting for many things, but they were watching them. Somebody was on to Richard Allen in 2019, 2 years after the murder. I'm sorry, folks. The poll hall video proves it. Now, that's up to you folks to find out who the magical man and people were that figured it out and were already on to many of them dudes down there, which other cases led to Delphi, Indiana, outside of Delphi, Indiana. other states, their investigators led back to where? Delphi, Indiana, the crew, the Kokomo, and the Delphi people. So I don't want to hear your people's time lawyer with degrees and you used to be this and you used to be that. I'm not worried about it. Voice guy, I'm not worried about it. Right? Richard Allen could confess to anything. That's true. If I was a defense lawyer, he can say anything. But if the evidence don't match, then he wasn't there and he's not the guy. He confessed. I don't care. I want to hear his voice. Like I told you before, you can confess to anything, but if the evidence don't match, that's not your dude. No, I can't see Richard Allen being bridge guy either. Why? Because the photo and the video and what they put out was either manipulated already or not even the real footage or could have been tampered with. And for even if it wasn't tampered with, the footage is not close enough for me to say that's Richard Allen. And that is my testimony. Right? Now you turn to other evidence because I can't ID that man on the bridge 100% to say it's Richard Allen. So what do? We rely on other evidence. Now pay up, suckers. You already stole quadrillions from me and the American citizens. And I'm sorry I had to take you back to law criminal school. I never gone to it. I'm sorry I was raised around military people, and I might be royalty. They're saying, I don't know. I don't even know if my own life is true anymore. I don't even know if I did the things that they say I did. I have no idea, nor do I really care at this point. Right? I'm at that point in my life where I don't need the madness. And I'm doing all right with God. Am I 100% God? No. But each day I wake up and I thank the Lord for another day, and it's better than what I used to have. So I'm still on board with the Lord, although I turn away when I get angry. And until this day, I still ask for forgiveness for things I do, and I don't do much. Right? I'm not a real bad boy. I'm not a real sinner anymore. So I wasn't back then. I wasn't a bad boy. Right? But the women today, if you're a bad boy, the women love it. I think I'm doing right. I'm doing all right where I'm at for now, and unless things change, uh, yeah, I think there was many involved. Richard's one. You can't explain away the car. You can't explain away the things now that are coming out. The curly hair. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Doug Carter saying a sketch ain't a photo ain't a sketch. And it might have been what Doug said. Yes, these 5, 6 sketches that are out there all look different. But if you put them all together, what do they equal? Well, the killers or killers. And from what I'm thinking, in 2019, they already had footage of Richard Allen. And Richard Allen might have been a chameleon and changed, shaved his beard off, shaved his hair, grew his hair out, dyed his hair, whatever. I rest my case. United States of America, anything is possible when a crime of this magnitude. Richard Allen might have been a trafficker of children. We know this from the area. High trafficking of children, young women, rape, drugs, clubs, madness. And I rest my case to the Supreme Court, Congress, Senate. I rest my case. We live in a zoo, and I would gladly help you clean it up if you ever need me. Till then, I'm just going to sit here and do YouTube videos and voice my opinion. You don't have to. You don't have to agree with me. You have the right to make your own opinion. Carol Miller says she don't see Richard Allen on the bridge. Either do I. I can't say 100% that's Richard. Characters of Richard are in the video. Maybe the gait is similar to Richard's, but I had 3 other people that size with that kind of gait. I had a couple people on this channel that were taller, but they had that gait. And a gait in someone's walk is always there, unless you change your whole pattern. And that's very hard to do. So Richard Allen might have been the chameleon and was in our chats, and everything we got right, Richard Allen switched. Look at the giant hawks out there today. They're just all over. Meaning Richard Allen was watching the case when somebody came up and said the guy looked like this. Richard Allen automatically changed. Richard Allen might have known, other people might have known that Richard Allen was in a bind and he was looking for some more time. And other people might have helped him. Oh my God, that is a giant hawk. All right, does anybody else have any questions? And I can't say Carol Miller is wrong. I can't tell that's Richard Allen either, and I don't think anyone can. For one, the face in some of these videos was morphine. So some of these videos you folks watch were tampered with, whether it was edited, photo opt, or CGI. I can't tell from what they released. Now, whether it was the police that did that or somebody that was working with the police, but you would need somebody with that kind of computer and editing and software to do that. Could it be done within hours? Yes. 30 minutes. And they would have made that whole thing, that whole video. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people pissed. I don't know. I don't care. You have the right to believe what you guys want, just like I have the right to believe and make my opinions. If I offended anybody in the Delphi case, my apologies. But I'm not there to make friends, and I'm not there to do anything but find people. Did we have other people in Tennessee and Kentucky that were suspects in the Delphi murder? Yes. Just because the police, just because these top dog Delphiers said they were cleared, they were never cleared. No one was ever cleared. And their crimes is why they were checked into. Their voices are why they were checked into. And that's just the bottom line. And there's other people being questioned in it. Why? Because they said the guy was from Chicago. Well, now you got to investigate it. Right? The guy came out of Chicago. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? The government knows. Now, do I think these guys dabbled in all kinds of stuff, black magic and all kinds of stuff? Curses. Yeah, I imagine it's everything they said it was. Now, I know I'm cocky, but it ain't me. Right? I don't know what's going on. Some kind of, I know people are saying you changed since the Delphi murders. Everyone has changed. It's drove everybody nuts. That's why I laugh at it, because if I keep thinking that, trying to, it's crazy. It's pretty crazy. Delphi is a crazy case. Probably one of the craziest that'll go down in history. We know this much. We can take Bigfoot off of the table. Now there's some footage we've seen that there looked like there was a spare, a giant spare, or sphere, or whatever it is, a chrome circular dome that was higher than the bridge, way up there, and it was behind the trees. What was it? I don't know. It wasn't the sun. Now, did they edit that in? I don't know. We're dealing with a lot of stuff here, folks. You got the president, you got the government talking about aliens. Could they be watching? Do the aliens know who did the Delphi murders? Or did the aliens somehow do this? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to really deep dive into that kind of stuff. But like I also said in my other videos, before DNA and ballistics came out, well, before DNA, what did they use if there was a weapon used or they found a bullet? Ballistics. How did they do that? They got the gun, they fired a round through the gun to get barrel markings and also extraction marks. Why? Because the round was hot and it leaves extraction marks. Sometimes you can have a weapon and extract bullets. There might be extraction marks, but very faint. Why? Because it's not coming out under hot temperatures. The copper or brass is warm, creates, it's easier to imprint. And before ballistics, how did they solve crimes? I have no idea. I do believe it was firing pins. The firing pin on a weapon, each firing pin is different and leaves marks on the weapon that no other weapons do. There was numerous ways they solved crimes before DNA and ballistics. I don't know what to say to these people. They act like this is, they relied on technology. That's what it was. And this was a case where there was no DNA left behind, and people are, his DNA wasn't there. And we have thousands and thousands of cases where it was a bloody, gory mess, a lot worse than Delphi. No DNA left behind, and they caught the killers. So cases do and are solved without DNA and without ballistics. Amen to that. all glory goes to God, if they got the right guys. And if not, and it ain't the right guys, well, some of these guys, folks, were doing very bad things, and their records showed it. So it was just a matter of time. They didn't change their lives. They didn't turn the other cheek, walk away from the sin. They continued, and it was just a matter of time before they got caught. And they got caught. And I'm going to tell you exactly what they did. You know anything about Delphi? Right? You're looking at 20 years. We might be able to do something. And I imagine their names started flying. Phone numbers started rolling. Right? That's how it works in the real life, folks. When you're looking at double murder of two girls, young girls, and they're gonna throw the book at you, and you know, they say to you, well, if you know something, we might be able to knock some time off. You might walk out of prison when you're 60, 70 years old. And that's how they work. It's called playing ball. And now the ball's in Richard's court. Now he can appeal it, go to court, but it ain't looking good. Or if he is truly guilty, and even when he got back in, they got him all, and he on his meds, and he was talking to his doctors and all that, he still confessed. So I don't know. Give Richard some time. Let him get comfortable. Protect him. And if he is innocent, then he'll appeal it. And they'll have the evidence they need to say it wasn't him, but it ain't looking good. We haven't even found out if any of the knives that they took matched. If he didn't get rid of that with his phone. That's a clue too, folks. The only phone that's missing from him, the only provider that he can't give any answers to, is the year 2017. Now, here's my other theory too. Richard filmed it. Very possible it was a pedo ring down there, and whether they want to admit it or not, they probably all knew each other. Is it possible he filmed it? Keegan Kline gets out of prison. That's the phone that Keegan Kline kept. And he booked out to Vegas and sold the phone. That's possible too. If it was all these people claiming it was filmed, it's possible. That might be the phone they can't find. So that concludes that. This channel rests its case. We, the people of the United States, I don't think we really have to say anything other than to the citizens of the United States, Delphi case is still open and still going. And they're not going to rest until every single one of these pedo rings that they stumbled onto, which Richard probably was using one of them accounts. Chadwell, all of them, Kurtz, Klein's, and I think there was 4 other of them that got picked up. Yeah, it makes sense to me. And then you bring in what they created, not me. I didn't create it. The Brad Holder and the whole Elvis thing, the Johnny Messer, all these guys. We didn't bring that into the case. They did. And that was many, many years after the case. Right. One of them did, Patrick Wesseling or whatever. He did come out onto YouTube or whatever. And he was a a suspect too. Right? Just like I said, folks, just being associated with somebody and you don't know what they're doing behind closed doors or when they're not around you is just phenomenal. It really got me thinking of, my God Almighty, you know. And we don't. They're telling the truth. We don't know. They can be the happy-go-lucky guy when they're around people, but when they're by themselves or with other people, they're monsters. Or when they're all high on meth and drinking alcohol. Now, do I believe he could do it? Yeah. He was already on meds. He already had anxiety problems. He was on also blood pressure medication, all kinds of shit. And then throw on top of that, he was drinking alcohol. Yeah, I bet your butt. I bet your butt he was higher than a guy. He could have done something like that. Well, if he's a sicko, you better start checking and put his name through the CADIS computer. And you might be able to solve some other things. Now, you folks have a great day. God bless. We got some clouds out there, some sun. We got it wrong on a lot of stuff on this channel. I'm a big enough man to say when I got it wrong. But there's a lot of stuff we did get right on this channel. And all glory goes to God for that. And we're still dealing with traffickers. And there's proof they're in out west, out east, down south, up north. They're everywhere. And we still have a problem with they're all affiliated with gangs and stuff like that. Organization, bad people, even good people, churches, even the people we praise might be traffickers. I don't know. All I can say is all glory goes to God that I got this far. Right? And I can't deal with this mind game of cat and mouse playing and everything. It's childish to me. I don't know. Even the relationships these days are just crazy. I mean, it's just nuts. So, yes, we had many people that had records or just acted uh, way too, way too suspicious. Uh, and they became suspects. And then they got mad at us and everything because they were well, the police said it was, the American people don't care what the police or government says, right? If the American people, the citizens, think there's more to this, the American citizens will check into it, if not a higher up branch of government like FBI, right? Just because the police say it's closed, it ain't closed to the Federal Bureau of Investigation. I mean, they were already onto something and already in Delphi when this happened. So, yeah, it's just, and for those people out there, you said it was Kohlberger. It could have been Kohlberger. For all you know, Kohlberger was talking to these guys. Maybe, who knows? Kohlberger could have done it. Well, it could have been Kohlberger. His dad and Kohlberger. It could have been Kohlberger and his dad. Very possible. Why? Because he traveled a lot. And supposedly there's rumors he had family out here in church or whatever. Yeah, very possible. No, I'm really sorry because the crime case world is just not up to par. I'm really sorry. I can't be a part of it. I'm starting to become like a Mike Murdoch. the church guy. I'm really sorry. I can't be friends with you, people. You're idiots. I'm sorry. I found that to be just hilarious. That was hilarious when Mike Murdoch said that on one of his church lives, or hilarious. But if you hang around with idiots, you'll become an idiot. And I'm an idiot, so you folks have a good night. God bless. And I'll be back later.